As we stand by for the news coming up in a few seconds' time right here, we just want to remind you that you need to call Caribbean Alliance. Pick up that phone, give them a call. Not just for the hurricane season, but for all season. Make sure that you're well insured with the wonderful folks at Caribbean Alliance. It's time to bring you the evening news right here on your nation station, DBS.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the community policing team of the Dominica Police Force is to continue to embark on a massive derelict vehicle removal campaign. In the news from the region, Caribbean urged to strengthen health data to combat rise in vector-borne disease. And internationally, children killed and injured in pews when attacker shot through Minneapolis church windows. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
Whoa. It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
And welcome back and a special good evening to our listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. First off, the community policing team of the Dominica Police Force is to continue to embark on a massive derelict vehicle removal campaign. Chairman of the Police Welfare Association, Davidson Andrew Jr., says so far the campaign has removed over 150 derelict vehicles from the surroundings.
One of the other initiatives by the community policing team is one of derelict vehicle removal. One of the major concerns impacting various communities across the island is one of derelict vehicles. The obstruction of the free flow of traffic, congestion it creates, and the environmental and health challenges these vehicles pose to our communities. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has teamed up with the Solid Waste Management Corporation to rid the streets of these vehicles. To date, over 150 of these vehicles have been removed from various locations across the island and disposed of at the Fonkole landfill. Approximately over 300 derelict vehicles have been tagged for removal across Dominica. Consequently, this has significantly reduced congestion, eliminate traffic hazards, and improve the cleanliness and safety of our communities, much to the delight of the public.
And that was the chairman of the Police Welfare Association, David Andrew Jr. The court is to decide on Friday whether there is sufficient evidence to commit double murder accused Jonathan Lair to the High Court for trial. Lair and his co-accused, Robert Snyder, are on remand for the December 2023 murder of eco-resort owner Daniel Langlois and his partner Dominic Machan in the Soufriere area. The preliminary inquiry into the matter is nearing completion.
On Friday, the 29th of August, 2025, we go to court again in respect of the double murder matter. The preliminary inquiry is coming to an end. We have submitted all the evidence. And on Friday, we are awaiting a ruling in respect of the committal of Jonathan Lair and Robert Snyder, his co-accused, for that particular matter. When I say committal, I mean to be committed to the High Court for trial. And the state believes that we have a real prospect of obtaining a committal on Friday. But I can say that we are waiting a ruling in respect of committal.
And that was the Director of Public Prosecutions, Shermer Dalrymple. The Dominica Police will observe Police Week from September 21 to the 28th as Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett wants the public to cooperate with the police for the success of Police Week 2025.
This year again, we will be celebrating Police Week. In the month of September, the proposed date is September 21st to 28th under the theme Serving with Pride, Protecting with Purpose. Again, we'll give more details as the time gets closer, but we intend to celebrate Police Week again in a big way this year. Again, to showcase the police and to reward officers for their hard work that they've done over the years. So I invite you, and you're welcome to celebrate with us and to participate in our activities. Again, I said more information will be given as we go along. But we encourage you to partner with us and to be a friend of the police.
And that was Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett. The Kalinago Council has received a grant for the enhancement and development of the Lescalia Tetshia site. This funding comes from Secology and international non-profit organizations dedicated to protecting island environments and cultures. The Lescalia Tetshia site is one of the most unique and culturally significant natural landmarks in the Kalinago territory. The planned development will include the creation of a welcoming reception area, installation of interpretive signage, guided tour experiences, and tree planting initiatives, as according to a press release from the Kalinago Council, as the council is committed to the long-term conservation of 65 acres of Lescalia Tetshia, ensuring the preservation of biodiversity and traditional heritage for future generations. This partnership follows a recent visit from Secology's Executive Director, Dwayne Silverstein or Stein, along with some members of the Secology team who met with the Kalinago Council to discuss opportunities for sustainable development and cultural preservation. Still in the national focus, Education Minister Octavia Alfred says Dominica will decide on a way forward for the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency or CAPE exams. There have been calls for years for Dominica to embrace the regional exams. Mrs. Alfred says Dominica is discussing the matter at the government level.
We are in a conversation on CAPE because it has grown significantly from what it was from 2015. It has grown. We saw the changes. Some of the reasons why we didn't accept CAPE have been eradicated because of our recommendations to CXC. But we find that the options being offered on island are still very limited. However, the government of Dominica has engaged an outside consultant to do an overall review of the Dominica State College. So the results of this review should inform us, or at least guide us, as to whether we want to introduce CAPE at the college or whether we want to keep it as something separate or where we would want to keep it. So that's where we are so far on the CAPE thing. Let's wait for the review. Let's encourage people who want to expand their curriculum, because if you're looking to put CAPE under the Island Scholar Program, it would have to be not less than what is now. So we would have to look at the subjects they offer in, what the past in the subject would be. However, where we are now is not where we were 15 years ago, because now we have embraced CAPE.
And that was the Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred. Minister for Culture, Greta Roberts, has hailed Dominica's presentation at CARIFESTA 15 in Barbados last night as a tremendous success. Dominica is being represented at CARIFESTA 15 by a 72-member contingent, and last night they took part in the country night.
Dominica brought the energy to CARIFESTA 15 with an outstanding cultural presentation at country night. Culture 101, a blend of music and dance, depicting Dominica's formation to its inhabitants to present-day music. What a celebration it was, as Dominicans and our Caribbean people alike danced, sang, and waved their flags in full support, making the night truly a night to remember. I must thank the Chief Cultural Officer and his team for demonstrating to the world that culture is alive in Dominica. I also must convey special thanks to our youth who came out in large numbers after a very tiring day, I must admit, and they came to join in the celebration.
And that was Minister for Culture, Greta Roberts. Economic activity in Sufria is expected to be boosted with the return of Dive Fest 2025. The two-day event will take place on August 30th and 31st, as Wifi Jules from Sufria Organizing Committee says this event over the years has positively impacted the community.
What we're doing is a kickstart, hoping that the association hopefully next year can come in and work with us, with the Soufriere Organizing Committee, who is now undertaking this leg. Because normally in DBS, what happens is Soufriere handle the 2 days of activities, where you have a fish night on the Saturday night. As you know, Soufriere Scotland is a big fishing community, and probably you don't know that almost 40% of the annual fish catch for the year for the island comes from Soufriere and Scotland. So we're trying to promote our fish. And most important also is to provide a much needed, we say, revenue for the community, because a lot of persons after DBS, that's how they bought their children's uniforms, their school books for school, and they're missing that. So we're trying to revive that. We're trying to boost the local economy and revive the vibes back in Soufriere. For those of you who know Soufriere and Scotland and how it was before. So we're trying to bring back the vibes in the area.
And that was Wiffy Jules from the Soufriere Organizing Committee, taking us to the end of this evening's National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life is pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep this going. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
And welcome back. First off, from news from the region, Caribbean health authorities have been warned that unless the region urgently overhauls how health data is collected and applied, efforts to prevent and control outbreaks of diseases such as dengue, chikungunya, and Zika will be undermined. Director of Surveillance, Disease Prevention and Control at the Caribbean Public Health Agency, or CARPHA, Dr. Horace Cox, spoke to Barbados today on the sidelines of a regional workshop being hosted by Blue Horizon Hotel. The training session, attended by health officials from across the region, is focused on boosting the Caribbean's collective capacity to predict, detect, and respond to vector-borne diseases. Internationally, police say 2 children aged 8 and 10 have been killed and 17 other people are injured following a school shooting in Minneapolis. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says they were shot whilst sitting in pews at Mass at a Annunciation Catholic School. The attacker has been identified by law enforcement as Robin Westman, age 23, from suburban Minneapolis. Police say the suspect was armed with a rifle, shotgun, pistol, shot through the church windows, and then died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next, sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Flow's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Let's begin with some netball news and good news for Dominica so far in the East CCB International Netball Series. Dominica, they're on the verge of putting an end to their 3-match losing streak as they're currently battling Montserrat. And Dominica, they're leading very comfortably. It's a 33-point advantage for Dominica. They're leading 53-20 in the fourth quarter of that game against Montserrat. And like we said, Dominica having started the tournament with 3 losses in a row, on the verge of putting an end to that losing streak. And they are a few moments away from winning this encounter. And we will continue to monitor and bring you the updates as we continue with the sportscast this evening. Well, let's move now to football news. As president of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne says the DFA is starting to see the benefits of its regional training centers. Well, his comments at a special recognition ceremony for the National Under-14 girls football team this afternoon. The team placed second at the recently concluded CFU Under-14 Football Challenge in Trinidad, and Etienne says that the training center has made strides in developing football at the grassroots.
I must also extend deep appreciation to our technical department under the leadership of Technical Director Mr. Jerome Bagwell. Your vision, guidance, and support provided the direction that helped this team shine. Importantly, this success did not come overnight. Many of these young girls have been training not only through national team setup, but also through our national regional training centers. This additional training time has been a key factor in their progress. The DFA is now remodeling the regional training center and creating a national academy model. With this structure, we'll be able to develop players up to under 16 level, providing continuity and greater support. This is not just about today's success, but about preparing for tomorrow, including the CONCACAF, Girls Under 15 Championship next year, which you all girls will be participating in. Where we are confident, our girls will once again make Dominica proud.
And that's the DFA president, Glenn Etienne. Well, the team received a hero's welcome with a motorcade through the streets of Roseau this afternoon, and they were also greeted with a welcome reception at the Pastoral Center at Mount Bruce. DFA president Glenn Etienne says the players will also be rewarded financially.
Their performance has united Dominica, inspired hope, and instilled a deep sense of national pride. And I must say the Dominica Football Association will make a monetary contribution to each and every girl here today. As a Dominica Football Association, we reaffirm our commitment to these young ladies, not only for their continued football development, but for their growth as leaders, role models, and ambassadors of our country. To our girls, hold your heads high. You are pioneers, history makers, and above all, champions of our heart.
And that's DFA President Glenn Etienne. Meantime, Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George, says the ladies, well, they will serve as inspiration for future generations.
We saw you playing with your heart, with courage, and of course with great skill and determination. But most importantly, we noticed what you were able to achieve, and what you did will serve as inspiration for other young girls who have a dream to represent Dominica one day. So of course, many young girls have seen what you have done, and they want to emulate what you have done in the next coming years. So I urge you not to underestimate what you were able to achieve in the competition. You know, as I said in our books, you're a champion. So I take this opportunity on behalf of the government and people of Dominica to congratulate you for your efforts in Trinidad. What you have done is nothing short of amazing. So I congratulate you. And of course, we look forward to seeing bigger and better things.
Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. Government will also provide all of the players with a brand new laptop devices. Well, let's take a look again at the netball action as we continue to monitor the proceedings in the 5th International, that's the ECCB International Netball Series. Dominica taking on Montserrat as we speak, and the lead has gone up. It's almost 40. It's a 59-20. Dominica in front of Montserrat, and are well on their way for their first win in the competition. In some more sports this evening, Olympic gold medalist Thea Laffoe-Gadson will go in search of a top 3 finish in the Diamond League as she participates in the triple jump finals of the Diamond League leg in Zurich tomorrow. Well, Thea is entering the final competition in 3rd place overall in the point standings with 20 points. Jamaica's Shanika Ricketts is in 1st place on 28 points, and Cuba's Leanis Perez Hernandez is 2nd on 23. Well, the triple jump is set to get underway tomorrow afternoon just after 12 o'clock. And of course, Thea is among 6 jumpers in the finals. Thea has spent most of 2025 recovering from a surgical procedure that she had done after the 2024 Olympics, and she has not yet returned to her top form for the season. Her season's best so far is a jump of 14.45 meters, which is a good distance off her national record of 15.02 meters. But despite not being at her best for 2025, as she recovers from the injury, Thea Laffoe-Gadson is entering the competition tomorrow, ranked number 3 in the world. In some more sports this evening, a number of boxing officials are now better prepared to officiate at boxing bouts. Well, this following the conclusion of a 3-day workshop for boxing referees and judges organized by the Dominica Boxing Association. The course, which was facilitated by international boxing referee Joseph Fadul, was held ahead of Saturday's major boxing event at the Massac Indoor Facility. A Boxing Association President Job Joseph says the course was timely.
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Fadul for a wonderful job. 3 days of training, and we know now boxing a lot of new rules, and he's on top of his game. The boxers will be happy because they know to have good boxers, as in any sport, to have good sportsmen, you need good officials. And if what Mr. Fadul has taught the new officials, both judges and referees, and they put it into practice, we'll have a very, very good competition on Saturday. And Mr. Fadul went even further and get overseas people to help during the sessions, and this was brilliant. So I think there were very good 3 days of teaching the sport of boxing, how to referee, how to judge. It's a high-level program by Mr. Fadul.
And that's President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph. A number of the participants felt that the course helped them to become better officials.
Well, of course, I'm Azof Irish and I attended the 3-day training, and I can tell you it was very refreshing. I mean, Mr. Fadul knows his stuff, and we got some good insight in terms of what we should do, in refereeing, looking at the quality, shots and blows as the boxer is getting, so that you can make a decision. Indeed, I can tell you it really helped to sharpen my skills and my knowledge, and I'm looking forward to the bouts on this weekend.
Okay, my name is Abigail Timali, and during the 3 days training, it was very informative. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know about refereeing, and I see myself refereeing.
All right, I'm Cameron Agustin, and I attended this training because Mr. Job told me about it. I'm a boxer, former boxer, and I just want to thank Mr. Fadul for his sharing his knowledge with us, and it's going to help me in the ring, definitely. So I'm looking forward to refereeing and practicing at least what I learned here today. And I'm going to try my best to be the best referee in Dominica abroad as well.
And that's some of the voices of the participants from the boxing course. Remember, there's a major boxing event taking place on Saturday at the Massac Indoor Facility. And you don't want to miss that, a chance to see some of Dominica's young boxers, young and up-and-coming boxers, taking on some of their regional and international counterparts. Well, let's head across to Grenada, because very good news for the national netball team. Dominica, they've just defeated Montserrat 62-20. So Dominica putting an end to that 3-match losing streak, and they've picked up a 42-point win over Montserrat just a few moments ago, 62-20. And we'll see if we can hop across to the live broadcast in a few moments, maybe to get some reaction from the Dominican contingent there. But let's move on with some more sporting items, as the captain of the Roosevelt Skerrit Bombers football team, Usher George, says while he feels the club could have done a bit better, he is still pleased with the progress showed as they finished in 3rd place in the DFA Premier League. But the Bombers, after just avoiding relegation last season, regrouped and they rallied to finish in 3rd with 34 points. George says that the team is looking to build on the foundation set this year.
Well, to be honest, I can say the team in general, although we didn't get what we sought out to do, but the performance, I have to say I'm very happy with how the team performed this season. We wanted to win, but we came close. It's a very young team, and we'll come back harder next year. I don't think we went wrong anywhere. It's just that a little bit of lack of experience, because you see we maybe like the youngest team in the league. We have a lot of young players. Most of them is like their first season in the Premier League, but we will in our ground, and for sure next season we'll come back stronger. Yes, we have some sort of rivalry with Mao, if I can say so, for myself. Last season was last season. Right now, that is the new Bombers, a new generation of players, young players, hungry players, and we come in for the trophy next year.
All right, and that's the captain of the Roosevelt Skerrit Bombers football team, Usher George. Well, let's head across to the captain of the national netball team, that's Gillian Seraphin, as she's doing an interview there with the reporters following Dominica's win. Let's go over to that.
Yes, a win is always motivational to the team. This despite our losses, I'm very proud of the girls because compared to the fourth ETCB in St. Lucia, we have seen great improvement. So
I
we
thought
can
the
only
St.
go up
Lucia
from
game
here.
was a good one because you were competitive for the first 2 quarters.
Yes, it was, and so was the St. Vincent game as well.
Tell us about netball in Dominica. How's it going? How's the development of netball going in Dominica?
Well, you know, it's a struggle with finances and everything like that, but the association as well as the sports department, we're trying to revive and motivate netball in Dominica.
Looking forward to the rest of the tournament?
Yes, I am.
Well, we're talking here with the captain of the Dominica team. Congratulations on your first victory in the tournament, and we'll see you again at your next game.
Yes,
so, guys, we're here. Tong.
Right, so there we heard it from Galen Serafin, the captain of the national netball team. And like we said, Dominica pulling off a convincing win, a big win. First win of the tournament, beating Montserrat 62-20 just a few moments ago. Well, let's move on to some cricket news. The hometown boy, Aki Mogis, he delivered on the big stage as the St. Lucia Kings picked up a win over the Guyana Amazon Warriors in a high-scoring affair as the Republic Bank CPL continued last night in St. Lucia. While the Guyana Amazon Warriors, they made a 202 for 6 in their 20 overs batting first. We had Romario Shepherd getting 73 not out of just 34 balls. Keon Gaston, he picked up 2 for 57 for the St. Lucia Kings. The Kings needed 203 to win, and Akimo Gis gave them the platform. He hit the fastest 50 of the season of just 18 balls, ended with a 73 of 35 deliveries to lead the run chase. The St. Lucia Kings made 203 for 6 in 18.1 overs, with Tim Seifert getting 37. St. Lucia winning that game by 4 wickets. So CPL action will continue tonight. It's another big game in an exciting Republic Bank CPL. Trinbago Knight Riders, they will be taking on the top of the table Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. That game gets underway from 7 o'clock this evening. There's also big basketball action on tonight as there's a clash of the 2 unbeaten teams in the DABA Division 1 League. And that will be the highlight, of course, of tonight's matches. The unbeaten Dr. Daru Prishla Sports Club Falcons, they're set to take on the unbeaten West Coast Ballers as the Division 1 League continues at the Massac Indoor Facility. That game is carded for 9 o'clock this evening. Of course, both teams are tied for first place with 18 points, both with identical records of 6 wins and 0 defeats. The other game tonight at 7 o'clock will see the Denise Charles Pemberton Seahawks, and they'll be taking on the Perky's Pizza 767 Sports Club Young Ballers. And like we said, that game is at 7 o'clock. Also at 7 o'clock is Off the Field, your number one sports show on the radio. Of course, we'll be joined by Delvin Esprit and possibly Augustine Beno Pascal as well. And we'll be touching bases with the Domino team. Remember, Dominica took part in the World Domino Council Championships last week. A lot of controversy surrounding that Dominica's participation. And of course, joining us will be members of the Dominica Domino Association and also members of the National Domino team. We'll get to the bottom as to what happened in Antigua. Well, that's a look at the DBS Evening Sports. And of course, you heard the news earlier on with Hassan Robinson. On behalf of the entire news and sports department, our links person, DJ Halo Boy, a.k.a. Joseph Fadul, our international boxing referee, I'm Gavin Richard saying good evening.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 27th day of August 2025. We'll begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. announce the death of Augustina Matthew, better known as Gogas, age 61, of Monjon. She died on Tuesday, the 12th of August, in Monjon. She was the daughter of Clementia Dolly Matthew in Monjon. She will also be remembered by her sisters, Ruthina L.Y. in New York, Cecilia Anselm in Georgia, and sister Cordelia Pierre in Roseau. Her brothers Bob and Pablo John Hope, her nephew Wayne, her nieces Vida, Rhea, and Sheila, her grandnephew Frankie, grandnieces Tyra and Jaid, godchildren Shelby and Kahim, close cousins Frederick Blaze, AC or AC, Francisca in Curacao, Tus in Florida, Claude in Tortola, Galoo Julius, well, that should be Galu, Julius, Jake, Nikki, Giselle, Beryl, Adrian, Baby, Marvlin, Meander, Renice, Anne, Antonilia, Carol, Elise, Meme, Decima, Curtis, the children of Martina Defoe in St. Joseph, the children of Aline in Guadeloupe, that should be Aline Joseph in Guadeloupe, the children of Felician Matthew, and other names too numerous to mention. Friends, Father Coffee, Father Franco, the daughters of Jesus here and overseas, Zophine, Nanan, Cyrilia, Miss Virginia, Lily, Priggy, Cynthia, Celo, Tessa, Muriel, and the children of Pablo John Hope, the communities of Monjon, Riviera Syriac, and Grand Fort, caregivers Katie and Magdalene, neighbors Andy, Samuel, Philip, Nick, and Maslin, other relatives and friends names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Augustina Matthew, better known as Gogus of Monjon, can be viewed from 2 p.m. on Friday, the 12th of September, at the Monjon Chapel. The funeral mass takes place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Laplane Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Rita Tewitt, age 84, of Elliott Avenue, Portersville. She died on Sunday, the 17th of August, 2025. She was the mother of Editha Ferguson, Cecilia Prosper, Julius and Aaron John Baptist in Antigua, Sonia John Baptist Tong in Antigua, and Augustina Williams in Dominica. She will also be remembered by her adopted daughter and caregiver Sandra Anthony, her brother Hisketh Charles, niece Connie Charles, nephews Jerry and Fitz Charles, her grandchildren Asha and Ashma John Baptist in Dominica, Kenrick Pinard in England, Mitch Joseph in France, Shauna Kazimi in Barbados, Norma John, Dwayne Mann, Akima John Baptist, Dante Charles, and Delano Tong in Antigua. 12 great-grandchildren Kelani Toussaint, Ellie and Jonathan Pinard, Dejon, Dream, and Denahin Mann, also Divine Charles, Dalian Bellot, Destiny Paquette, Naim John, Keenan, and Oana Joseph. Son-in-law Harold Tong. Granddaughters-in-law Janice Pinard and Krishian Mann. Close friends, Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt as well. The body of the late Rita Tewitt of Elliott Avenue, Portersville, can be viewed from 1:30 p.m. on Friday, the 29th of August, at the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church. The funeral mass takes place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Roman Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Gwyneth Mary Yankee, better known as Death, age 91, of Cottage and London, who resided at Mona Louis. She died on Tuesday, the 12th of August, at her residence. She was the mother of 2 children. She will also be remembered by her 6 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren, 1 sister. Close relatives and friends in Cottage, Mona Louis, and